There was breaking news yesterday that Spain has ordered the withdrawal of more than 65,000 listings on the Airbnb platform. Now, this is listings that don't have tourist licenses. Now, this is the problem that is in Spain, and we've all been speaking about this before, the fact that the protests are actually happening due to the fact that there is a lot of people out there that are renting out property and they do not have the correct license. So if you are booking with Airbnb to come on holiday to Spain this summer, make sure that they do have a license, to have a tourist license here in Spain. The Consumer Minister, Pablo, says it was a total goal to end the general lack of control and illegality in the holiday rental business. No more excuses, enough of protecting those who are making business out of the right to have housing in our country, he told reporters. The Spanish government, as well as city councils and regional authorities, have launched a crackdown on tourism rentals, such in sites like Booking.com and Airbnb. Many Spaniards are citing this as excess tourism and people going holidays to hotels. It's funny because although I agree with it to a certain extent, there is the yin and yang for this, because when you look at places like Torrevieja has a massive second home population for people from Madrid, and they come down there in August. The homes sit empty the rest of the year. Is it the fact that it's external people from external countries and people coming in and buying up and paying excess amount for property? And I think that's the real issue that we're having here in Spain, is that there's been such a dramatic increase, especially in the holiday home market. According to the official data, there was 321,000 homes with holiday rental licenses in Spain. Last year, that was 15% more than in 2020, and many of these operate without official licenses, and that is what the issue is here in Spain. It says that the spokesman for Airbnb has said that the company will continue to appeal against all decisions in cases like this. Oh, if they don't have a tourist license, how can and if it's a legal requirement for properties in Spain to have a tourist license, how can they get away with, how can Airbnb say that it's against the law? It's against EU law and it's against Spanish law. There's been no evidence of rule breaking by hosts being put forward, according to Airbnb, and it's a thing that's going through the Spanish Supreme Court. The root cause of all this housing crisis is obviously the lack of supply and demand here in Spain, and it's the same as any other country. I mean, the UK has a similar problem, although the housing market seems to be slowing down in the UK, especially. And I know a lot of people that work on building sites back home, so I can't talk about it. My brother and all my mates have been in the building trade for absolutely years. And in December, it said that Airbnb asked hosts to confirm that they have permission to rent their places and abide by local rules. Airbnb has also said that the ministry failed to provide lists of non-compliant accommodation. And it should be Airbnb should have it in their system. And they're asking the government to prove that people do not have a license. Should it not be the other way around? Should people not have to prove to Airbnb that they have a license to, so this is going to get pretty tasty in the courts, this one, isn't it? Barcelona mayor said back in June last year, they've took the toughest stance on this so far. They want to rule out the Airbnb platform completely, a total ban on tourism rentals by 2028. How do you feel about that? Tell me in the comments. I mean, it's all good. I think that some people, when they do go to an Airbnb, I mean, they can be staying in a block of apartments that people stay in, and they go in and they have parties and everything, and it kind of ruins the location then, doesn't it? And it all becomes about location. Other European countries, it has to be said, like Croatia and Italy, have also acted to slow down the holiday rental market. Now, as you would expect, after this ruling yesterday, there is a massive amount of news coverage around the world. New York Times are saying Spain orders A&B to take down 66,000 rentals. The BBC 2 hours ago, Spain clamps down on Airbnb tourism. Backlash returns for summer. I like how you see the difference between the way that they're describing it in New York. Spain orders B&B to take down 66,000 rentals. And then in the BBC coming out of London, Spain clamps down on Airbnb tourism. Backlash returns for the summer. The Independent says Spain makes huge holiday ruling as 65,000 tourism rentals blocked. Yahoo News say how the anti-tourism protests in Spain could impact your holiday. But then they go on to talk about the rental property market and the fact that there's a lot of these houses illegal letting out their houses. Spain reduces new entry residence permanent rooms for migrants. Schengen info, this is one that's just came out. The Spanish government has imposed new changes to the immigration rules. New immigration rules come to force entry and residence for non-EU immigrants. Oh, this is going to be all over the UK news, saying it's bad news for Brits. Bad news for Brits. You can see just some of the headlines now. The Spanish government has introduced new changes to the immigration regulations to make the process of entry of residence for non-EU migrants into the country easier. I would have thought that was coming in this report. New changes, which entered into force today, May 20th, aim to make the system more flexible and able to regularise about 300,000 immigrants each year, according to Schengen news reports. However, according to this report, the Minister of Inclusion and Social Security and Migration says new regulations aim to simplify and streamline procedures to avoid excess submissions of documents. Submit via the appropriate means, as well as double checking the same requirements and reduce waiting times. The new changes will improve different ways of permits as defined, therefore helping migrant workers understand more clearly their rights and be better explained to their families, which can change. Based on the new changes at present, there are 5 official settlement schemes for migrants: social, educational, work-related, family-related and family-based second chance option. That's interesting. So you can come to Spain as long as you've got a job set up, or if you're coming here to work, or if you come for education. And it was one thing that the British students were finding it hard to go abroad due to the good old Brexit word. Anyway, that's just a little bit of a news update for you. It is a breaking one that I thought we would talk about this afternoon. Concerns amongst migrant organisations. The new changes announced in the Spain government have sparked concerns amongst migrant organisations. According to a report from Murcia Today, groups such as have took legal action to file an appeal with the Supreme Court. Well, there you go. According to these groups, the change could negatively affect the rights of applicants and their international protections. That's going to be an interesting one as it goes on. Anyway, that's the